In today's video, I'm going to be covering 5 mistakes that will make your knee replacement recovery harder. Now, I've been a physical therapist for over a decade working with patients right after total knee replacements, and I found that many patients struggle with the same common mistakes that often extend the recovery time, as well as making their recovery a lot harder. And in today's video, I wanted to cover those 5 common mistakes that patients make to ensure that you don't make these same mistakes yourself. Now, make sure to stick around to the end of this video to ensure that you don't make the last mistake, which can make your recovery difficult. Now, the first mistake that I want to get into, which I think is often missed when it comes to total knee replacement recovery, is when the individual is only focusing on their knee. Now, we have to remember which joints actually surround the knee. We have our large hip joint that works above, that controls a lot of movement of the knee, as well as our ankle and our foot joints, which control a lot of movement of the foot. That is essentially our foundation. Yes, it's important that you're focusing on your range of motion and you're focusing on your strength for the knee initially after surgery, but you have to remember that it's also so important to work on your glute muscles and your hip muscles, and to also address any stiffness or tightness that you might be developing in the ankle on the side that you had surgery on. The other thing to think about is the opposite leg. Most people just focus on exercises for their surgery knee, but they often forget to work on the non-surgical leg, which is often working very hard and doing more work because it's having to compensate for your weaker leg. So make sure that as you go through your rehab, you don't neglect the other joints like the hip and the ankle, and make sure to also train the opposite leg. Now, the second mistake that I'm going to cover is people not having the appropriate equipment whenever they come home. Now, hopefully upon discharge, your doctor has already prescribed and given you some sort of assisted device like a front-wheeled walker or maybe even crutches to be able to safely transfer in and out of your vehicle and especially ambulate around your home. However, there are other essential items that could be very helpful in your recovery, such as having a proper wedge so that you can elevate and control some of the swelling, maybe even having a larger ice pack to cover the whole knee so that you can put some cold and control some of your pain levels, or maybe even thinking about what your bathroom or shower setup might look like. Some people may benefit from having a toilet seat raiser if their toilet is too short. But the fact of the matter is, if you don't have the proper equipment, it can make your recovery a lot harder. Now, I have made a video about the 11 essential items that I believe patients need at home after knee replacement, so I'll go ahead and link that video up here above. Now, the third mistake that I see people make that often can hinder their recovery is when they're overdoing the activity too soon. Some people have the mentality that more pain is more gain, and that's simply not true after this specific procedure. Yes, you're gonna have some pain while you're performing some walking and some of the exercises, but you should not be having extreme pain all throughout the hours. You have to consider how much walking and standing or even sitting that you're doing. Often I find patients are so eager to get back on their feet again. They don't wanna feel behind, and so what they do is they do a lot of walking. They're up for long periods of time, in the kitchen, trying to return back to some normalcy, building meals or making meals, or even if they sit at a desk at home and they're trying to do some work, they're in one position for a long period of time. And this often can make the knee joint very angry because it's in one position, or if you're standing or walking, you're putting a ton of load through that joint. You want to make sure that there is a balance, and I almost like to talk about this as a Goldilocks concept. You don't want to be walking too much around the house or even outside, but you don't want to be immobile and not walk at all. You kind of want to find that sweet spot in the middle where you can get up every few hours, do a small walk around the home, just to build some confidence and learn how to walk on that knee again. Now, the fourth mistake that I often find is very challenging for people is that they have an ineffective pain management plan. What does that mean? Some people avoid pain medication and they decide that they don't want to take anything and that they can kind of recover on their own. Unfortunately, this is a major procedure and you are going to need some level of pain management medications. And I completely understand that some of the narcotics and opioids can cause a lot of side effects, but it's going to be very important to communicate that concern with your surgeon and most importantly, develop a plan in place so that you can effectively have a routine of when you're taking those pain medications. Another tip to think about, if you're taking your medications at the proper timing, including before exercise and even before bed, this can make a dramatic effect on your recovery. And not only are you going to be able to participate in the exercises more, but you're also going to be able to sleep a lot better. Now, the last mistake, which I think is the most challenging for many of my patients, and this is something that you might be suffering from yourself, is having unrealistic expectations. You might be someone right now that has just had this surgery done, and you have already booked yourself a trip 3 months out or even 6 months out, and now you're dealing with this pain and discomfort, and you're realizing, did I make a mistake? Am I going to waste my money on booking this trip, not knowing how long this recovery was going to take? You have to make sure that you're realistic about your timeline on when you'll be ready to do activities like that again, like vacationing. I often see my patients who will book these trips. Is what happens in the long run is that once they realize how long it actually takes to recover from the surgery, they get very discouraged. They get very worried and anxious because now they're realizing they might spend tons of money and tons of time booking all those vacations, booking all those events, when reality they're not quite ready to returning to those types of activities. Make sure you give yourself adequate time. For some people, they will start to feel a lot better at the 3-month mark, and then you'll have majority of people functioning very well at the 6-month. But there are some scenarios where we have a small percentage of people that it does take a whole year to fully recover so that they can get back to doing the things that they love. Either way, it's important to understand that you have to be realistic with your recovery time after this surgery. There you have it. Those are the 5 mistakes that can make your knee replacement recovery harder. And if you're currently making one of these mistakes now, comment below on which one of these you're going to make a change with. If you want to learn more about how to build strength after this specific surgery, make sure to check out my playlist here. In the meantime, to support this channel, you can do me a favor by giving this video a like and a thumbs up, and we'll see you in the next one.